Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Thijs. I'm the tech evangelist at Varnish Software, and I'm joined here by my colleague Cynthia. Cynthia, introduce yourself.
Hi everyone, I'm Cynthia. I am heading the operation of Varnish software here in APAC.
And that's the reason why Cynthia and I are talking to you right now because we're gonna look back, do a recap of an event we attended in the APAC region. Maybe you should tell the audience what it was about and where it was.
Yes, so we attended DrupalCon in Singapore in December. It was an amazing event, and it was great to be back into the community and sharing more with the community, engaging more with the Drupal community here in Asia.
For reference, so Drupal is an open source content management system that has a pretty big community surrounding it. And our goal as a supplier of software within that ecosystem, uh, our role is to ensure that we know what's going on in that world. Now, what was so significant about this event? Why did we hop on, jump on board, attend, and even sponsor?
Well, you know what? I've been at Varnish almost 10 years. And since I've been at Varnish, I always heard of Drupal, starting with Acquia. And it was really great to, coming here and attending one of the open source event and hearing about, hey, there is the Drupal community hosting an event here in Singapore. So this was done by the CEO of Pixel Onion called SJ. So it was straight away a no-brainer for us to be able to sponsor that event and to meet the people who are actively using our open source Varnish Cache.
I'm actually happy that you mentioned it, Cynthia, and he deserves his props because SJ, or his official name, his government name apparently, and I'm reading it off his LinkedIn, is Solenin Yinata. So sorry, SJ, if I butcher your name, but he deserves a little bit of praise because I remember when I traveled to Singapore earlier this year, we did a meetup and I met with him and he talked about Drupal, and now it came to fruition because it's the first time in 8 years that there is a DrupalCon happening in the APAC region in Singapore. Because otherwise, the events there's two a year. There's one in Europe and there's one in the US, and it's a traveling circus. So it's quite significant, and we contributed to that, right? We sponsored.
100%. I mean, we found out when we attended the leaders dinner, we found that we were one of the first sponsors of the DrupalCon Singapore. So it was great to actually be one of the top to choose to contribute to this event.
And that was mentioned. I mean, during the opening address where the introduction was made, I was actually shocked and surprised that we were, I guess, the very first sponsor. And they also showed a little video that I recorded to explain what our goal was. So that was all nice. But you referred to the agency leaders dinner. I enjoyed that quite a bit. I'm going to show the audience, the people watching this, a little picture of it. So, what was so special about that dinner?
Well, first of all, it was our first time engaging with a wider Drupal audience here in Asia. It was also the opportunity for us to realize that many people within the community, the Drupal agencies, are actually using Varnish Cache. They know about us. We just didn't know about them. So yeah, it was nerve wracking to do a quick presentation about Varnish software, but the people
We
made
have footage about that. We have footage. Maybe I should show the audience a quick
it.
snippet of you. I have it.
So we're here for awareness creation, sharing capabilities, and as Mike said, do business with friends in the community that we've been part of for a very long time. Right? Thank you very much. Yeah, well, to be honest, it was nerve wracking, but the audience was very welcoming. The community and its leaders dinner was very welcoming, so it was great to be part of it.
Met a lot of people there. Of course, the guest of honor is Dries Buitaert, the guy who invented Drupal. He still goes to all the events. He's Belgium, so we don't really know each other, but we know of each other. So we always say hi, and it's fun. I'm Dutch speaking, he's Dutch speaking, so that's fun. But it's a lot more than just him. We met with a lot of people from the Drupal Association who were equally welcoming. We built up a lot of good contacts. And what struck me, and you've probably noticed it, is the majority of the people were either Australian or Indian. Am I right?
That is correct. So there were a lot of people from Australia, and I'm looking forward to meeting many of them, I'm sure, again in 2025 when we go down south in a few months.
And they're planning ahead. I mean, the Drupal Association has already announced a potential event in Japan this year, and next year maybe even in India. So that agency leaders dinner, wonderful, met a lot of brilliant people. Actually, without knowing, talked to some competitors who were also super friendly. So it was all
Really?
good. But we didn't really go there for the agency leaders dinner, did we? We went there for the main event, which was the conference. How do you feel about that? How did you feel about the event itself, the conference, the community engagement?
I think it was a great event. It was really good to engage with the community, to hear particularly about the challenge that they are facing using Varnish, deploying Varnish in front of Drupal. What was mostly reassuring for me is to notice that whatever challenge they are facing that impacts on their web performance is already been addressed by Varnish today in the custom build VCL that we put together for the Drupal community. So it was good to exchange with the users, the agencies, the building or promoting Drupal, but it was also rewarding to know that actually we have proactively looked into it and provided a solution for them.
Absolutely. And we came armed with a special offer. We wanted to
Yeah.
engage with them with a very competitive offer with a couple of cool features, good pricing. And actually, because we were sponsoring, I was given a speaking slot. So I went on stage and showed a couple of features. And I felt that had some really good traction. So
Yeah.
Drupal, you were right by saying you've been working here a lot longer than I have. And it's always been about Drupal. Drupal has always been mentioned, and I
Yes.
remember us sponsoring a DrupalCon back in 2011, and we've always been part of that scene. I've been part of that scene for a while. I think this was my seventh DrupalCon,
Yeah.
and I have a lot of Drupal events on the horizon. I'm mostly in Europe, but we'll see what it brings globally and what it brings in the Asia Pacific region. So, any closing notes?
Yes, so we are continuing our engagement with the community here. So next week we're going to the Drupal birthday celebration in Singapore. SJ, I will see you there. But also coming March, we are looking forward to the Drupal South, where we will be able to engage with the community in Australia and New Zealand as well. So this is just a continuity into our engagement with the Drupal community in Asia.
And it's also fun because Varnish software is present in a lot of geographical regions that we can actually cover the globe. You've got APAC covered. I'll do mostly EU. We have colleagues in America. And I have a feeling it will be a pretty good year for Drupal. As you've mentioned, the launch of Drupal CMS, a lot of eyeballs on Drupal. So it's all good in the community. And we will be there, not watching on the sidelines, but being in the midst of it. So thank you,
Exactly.
Cynthia, for your sharing your experiences. I enjoyed it a lot, and I hope I can be back. To our audience, thanks for checking this out. There'll be plenty more content like this. There's plenty more events, both Drupal and other technologies, and we'll be there reporting from the front lines. Thank you very much, everyone. I'll see you next time.
Bye.